This afternoon, we join you from the desert. It's the Pirates and the Arizona Diamondbacks here in the series finale from Phoenix, Arizona. Chase Field, the site of the finale of this road trip. The Pirates look to conclude it with a victory, and Francisco Cervelli, part of the battery again here today, as he and Taillon will make up the pitcher and the catcher for the Pirates here today. Welcome into the booth. Joe Block and Bob Walk with you, as Cervelli, yes, back in the lineup after having to leave the game on Saturday because of injury. He's back, and when he's been in the lineup, he has been very good for the Pirates.
Yeah, he's been very special. It's so rare, to see a catcher that can do what he does on offense. Right from spring training, you could see a difference in his swing. He was swinging with more power, getting the ball over the fence. And again, that catcher's position, you don't expect the run production numbers that he has put up there. You look at the home runs, he's tied for second in the National League among catchers in that. RBIs 33 against second place. OPS up there almost 900. He's been a very special player for us in that lineup this year.
A look at our Allegheny Health Network injury update, and after missing 3 games, Cervelli is back and playing like an all-star this year. You can vote for him, pirates.com/vote. And a guy who has played like an all-star has been one, certainly in this series at the very least. Starling Marte, who has done it in the field and at the plate. He's always hit well here in Arizona.
Oh, he loves this ballpark. I don't know what it is. It's sometimes with guys, maybe it's that hitting background that they really like. But with him, it's not just the hitting background. It could also be the background when he looks in, because he's making some great plays out on the field. That's a very difficult catch he made last night. He certainly plays like an all-star when he comes to the desert.
And the Pirates will be featuring a nice pitching matchup here with Jameson Taillon, Zach Greinke going for Arizona. Bucks and Snakes coming up next here on AT Sportsnet. Noon, temperatures over 100 degrees. Yeah, we're going to stay indoors again here today, and Jameson Taillon gets the start for the Pirates here in the series finale, and been seeing him pitch a little differently lately, and has had some success with that.
Yeah, you look at the last 3 starts, the ERA of just 2.79. .222 opposition average. That's not too bad right there. So, and he needs a good effort here. We've seen both these teams are swinging the bats pretty well. Both starting pitchers, including Greinke, who we've had some success against. Even though his record's 7-3, we score runs off this guy. So hopefully we can continue to score runs like we have in the first couple of games, and do a little bit better job in that pitching department.
Greinke has finished his preparations, and to get us prepared for the game today and all around baseball, let's go out to Rob King with the game break. Phoenix, and wrapping up this 3-game series, Pirates will head home, but first looking for a victory here as the Diamondbacks are looking for their first sweep since 2009 against the Pirates. And the Pirates will send these 9, the RAV4 lineup, to try to break that up. Josh Harris at the top of the order. Austin Meadows in left with Starling Marte hitting third. Colin Moran back in the cleanup role, and Francisco Cervelli back in the lineup. Josh Bell with 3 hits last night. Polanco, Mercer, and Tyone round out the Pirates batting order.
Take a look at Greinke's numbers on the season. Everything looks to be in pretty good shape. Coming off a win up in Colorado, but gave up quite a few hits, a couple of home runs. I guess everybody does though at Coors Field, but not really the pitcher he was, say 4 or 5 years ago. The stuff is starting to show his age, I guess, a little.
34 years old now, and he may rely a little bit more on the defense behind him. Brought to you by Honda, with Jeff Mathis returning from paternity leave. Congratulations to he and his wife. Lamb, Ahmed, Marte, and Goldschmidt, the infield, Peralta, Dyson, and Jay. Four-time Gold Glove winner on the mound, Zach Greinke. Four-time All-Star as well. And yeah, even with some of that diminished stuff, boy, he can pitch though. He is one of the smartest guys.
Relies on guile. The average velocity on his fastball has creeped down into the 80s now. You see 89 on that last one. That's about his average speed.
Josh Harrison checking in at 304. Now the Pirates have been scoring a lot in this series. The Diamondbacks have been scoring a lot. Even with the reduced travel on the ball, it seems, with the humidor. But today, with these two starting pitchers, they've got that reputation of limiting offenses. We'll see if that maybe changes the tone here today. There's some of that guile.
Yeah, pretty good curveball. A little bit better defense will take some runs off the board also.
Well, both teams have kicked it around a bit. Austin Meadows still enjoying a fine first month in the major leagues. He hasn't even been here that long yet. Been one of the top hitters in the league since being called up to the majors for the first time back on May 18th. 8th in the National League in OPS. That got a little bit of the mask of Ryan Blakeney, the home plate umpire. That's why it's got that extra chin protector there. Sam Holbrook's the crew chief. Jim Wolf at second. DJ Rayburn at third. Ketel Marte takes care of that. And now Starling Marte,
who has been outstanding. We talked about in the open. He has really had a nice first couple games.
Up to 286, 4 hits in the series, 5 RBIs. I think that's a great word to use for Marte. Outstanding. He stands out.
Yes, he does.
Making some above average plays in center field. And really his home run yesterday, you get down 8-0 and just about in all phases of the game you feel like, all right, well, that's going to be it for the day. But he capped that 6-run fourth that brought the Pirates back within 2. Now they never led, they never tied it, but
that was something.
It was a game until the 8th inning. Really.
You know, you give up that many runs early, you fall in a huge hole like they did. I mean, that never happens if they give up that many in it early. But I remember when Bell hit in the second inning, the top of the second, remember he struck out and he just had that kind of dejected look about it. The body language wasn't good going as he's walking back to the dugout. He had made that poor play in the field in the bottom of the first. And I was thinking that whole team really has to guard against, you know, kind of throwing in the towel early here. I don't have time I wanted to get to the Jody Mercer play.
We'll get to that. We got time. Pirates retired in order here in the first. and Torey Lovullo penning in his 9 for the Arizona Diamondbacks. John Jay atop the order, a .329 career hitter against the Pirates. Paul Goldschmidt bats second with Jay Lamb at third, batting third. David Peralta in the cleanup spot today. Marte moves up to fifth. Gerard Dyson and Nick Ahmed 6 and 7. Jeff Mathis returning to the club today, batting in front of Zach Greinke. Pretty good hitting pitcher.
Yeah, all these guys can hit pretty good, and Jameson's going to have his work cut out for him. But as we mentioned earlier, he has been pitching pretty good of late, and let's hope he's up to the task.
And we'll detail it as we go along today, but you know, wasn't satisfied with what you know, the results he was having kind of a so-so modest year, and we know he's capable more, so he's worked to make some adjustments. But it'll be a challenge against this Diamondbacks club. They've averaged almost 7.5 runs a game over winning 11 of their last 14. I mean, that's a long time to average 7.5 runs a game, and that's not just the Pirates. Now, one component of these 2 games so far in the series is that they have run into a hot team offensively. Jay with an infield hit.
So difficult for the Pirates to get Jay out over these years. It was just a thorn in our side so many times back in his Cardinal days, and it's just carried on no matter what uniform he's been playing in. Jordy doing everything he could from the hole. Real quickly, I want to finish up what I was saying about Jordy. You know, that talking about how that it's got to be just, you know, devastating in that dugout. You look up, it's 8-0. It's you know, you haven't even got the game going yet, and then Jordy turned a single into a double. I mean, took advantage of Dyson kind of dogging it a little bit out there in the outfield, and went into second base, and I think really kind of woke everybody up, if they needed being woke up. That, you know, there's an older player, been around for a while, saying, hey, we still got 9 innings to play. This game's not over. Let's go.
Yeah, it's 2 outs.
And I thought that was a great thing to see Jordy do last night. Right there at the very worst part of that game, you know, where, you know, it looked like we'd been gutted right there in the beginning. He pulls off a play like that, and I think kind of, I'm sure, in that dugout picked everybody up.
I'll underline that. Jay aboard for Paul Goldschmidt, who is without an extra base hit in the series. But yeah, yesterday there's so many things. But you know, it was inspiring to see them make that a game. But of course, it was Jay, of all people, that put the game out of reach with that 3-run opposite field home run late. First career home run against the Pirates.
Yeah, it's so uncommon to see Jay come up with that kind of a big hit. You know, the thorn in our side is what he has been. He hadn't hit us over the head with a hammer ever. And that's what he was able to do. An off-speed pitch, breaking ball, opposite field home run. That's not his game. It was just a shot from the blue.
Ahead on Paul Goldschmidt. The 2 out of the same high school at different times. Tyone and Goldschmidt from the Woodlands, Texas high school.
A lot of ball players from the Woodlands area.
Outside Houston.
Home of Doug Drabeck. Guessing he still lives in the Woodlands. Did back in our playing days.
That's
still coaching for the.
Was that right?
In the Diamondbacks in the minor leagues.
That's a foul ball. Those players would be wise to listen to him. Now Goldschmidt and Taillon, they don't know each other well, but you know, with Goldschmidt preceding Taillon at school, Taillon was saying his reputation was, you know, a good hitter. He was the, you know, cleanup hitter for a high school national champion. Always could hit for power. But to say that everybody thought that Goldschmidt would emerge as one of the game's stars would probably be overstating it. He was 8th round pick of the Diamondbacks, but it is no surprise to Taillon that Goldschmidt, because of his work ethic, his brothers played there too, all good baseball gamers, that he would ascend to stardom. That is not a surprise to Taillon. A good battle here.
Yeah, working over each other pretty good. Cervelli wanted this pitch, but it was inside.
Cervelli back behind the plate after missing 3 games. Came out of the game on Saturday back in Chicago.
Fastball away here.
And the 9th pitch fouled away.
Didn't get it out there where Cervelli wanted it, but he has such good stuff, character to that fastball. Even though it stayed in the middle of the plate, just a foul ball.
Showing him a little bit of everything.
Really be here. Curveball, fastball away, slider. Did I see a 3? Too dark for my old eyes. Was a slider.
This gets into the seats. We shall see an 11th pitch coming up.
That slider really didn't slide much.
No.
One of my favorite Joe-isms. That was a cement mixer.
Yeah. Well, got away with it.
Yeah, it was right in the middle square. Last couple pitches have been there.
Not underneath it.
That'll be a routine out for Starling.
And on the 11th pitch, out number 1. Marte out there in center. Meadows and Polanco flank him today with Moran, Mercer, Harrison, and Bell. Josh is on the right side. Francisco Cervelli back behind the plate. First start since Saturday after taking that ball off his chest protector and into the side of his face, and through some more rigorous workouts yesterday. Cleared to play today. Jake Lamb, he hit a 3-run opposite field home run in this series, but that's his lone hit. That was the game tying home run back on Monday. Shea with that infield single. Underneath that one. And Meadows has the second out.
A couple of very routine fly balls.
Well, David Peralta.
But you can tell Taillon has pretty good stuff already. That routine fly ball, that was middle of the plate. Threw several middle of the plate pitches to Goldschmidt when he was up there, and they just can't seem to get it centered. That'll tell you about your pure stuff, how much life your fastball has, that sort of thing.
By life, you mean what? Some movement on it?
Movement, velocity, could mean different things, just different pitchers. Johnny Sand used to always call it character. Pitch has character. It can live in the middle of the strike zone occasionally if it's got some character to it. He'd say if your pitch has no character, then it has to always be on the edge someplace. And he goes, that's a tough way to make a living. Because you need to go back into the drawing board and do some more work with that pitch. He was all about developing pitches that could get to the middle of the strike zone and not be a home run every time.
Line to left. And Meadows has it go off his glove and over the wall. That's a home run.
Oh man, I did not see that. I thought he caught it.
Nope. They went into the glove and over. And that's a home run.
I've seen that in highlights. I don't think I've ever seen that live before.
He looked up to see where it was, and a fan had gotten it by then.
I thought he had caught that ball.
In and over.
Wow. Never have I ever witnessed that in person.
That's the way things have been going.
Yeah, that's it in a nutshell. That's a great comment right there. That's the way this 3-game series has been. Like everything that could go wrong has gone wrong.
Instead of the third out of the inning, it's a 2-run home run for David Peralta. And Austin Meadows feels an inch tall right now, but hey, I mean, that ball could have stuck in the glove. It could have fallen beside him. It just happened to go right there over the wall. And Tyon's got to work around being down 2 early runs. You know, it's been going this way for Arizona too. I mean, they've been scoring runs. I mean, they're getting home runs on fly balls. Now put it behind him, down 2. Get some of that back with the bats.
Pirates Baseball is brought to you by T-Mobile. Show your military appreciation and use hashtag HatsOffForHeroes. T-Mobile will donate $1 for each post. And by the law firm of Bordas & Bordas. Bordas & Bordas, fighting for justice. Let's go Bucks!
Pirates down a pair. Zach Greinke retired the side and ordered back in the first. Colin Moran checking back into the cleanup spot today. And, you know, hey, just a word of consolation. Maybe some instruction. I mean, it's what can you do? I mean, it's
freak play.
Yeah. That'll never happen to him again in his whole 15-year major league career.
Oh, man, the best way to forget about that is
put up 3 runs right
now. At least 2 right now. We're right back at it. You can laugh about a play like that because it's, you know, almost a laughable thing. I'm sure it's not a laughing matter to tie on, but I mean, it never really got into the palm of that glove. It looked like it hit off the.
That's not a ball that you can go and catch with 2 hands.
The little finger.
You know what I mean? If it was just routine and he could sit there and camp underneath and catch it with 2 hands, he does. He catches the ball with 2 hands a lot, which not every outfielder does these days.
That's just freak play.
That's all it is. It probably never happened to him Little League on the way up, or will ever happen to him again. Get him back with the bats. Cervelli anxious to get back in there. Came out of the game Saturday in Chicago for getting that hard deflection into the side of his face near his jaw. Sam Holbrook says strike. The veteran moundsman shaking off Mathis several times.
He's got 4 pitches to choose from, and you know, I'm sure at least 2 of those he probably wants to designate inside or outside. Maybe even with the Greinke, maybe even 3 of them. Probably wants to go. He goes in and out probably with the changeup, certainly with the fastball, and I would imagine that he'll also try to throw to both sides of the plate, both corners, with a slider.
Yeah, that's very good command.
So that kind of that can take a while to go through all those signs when you get that kind of combinations. And if it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, then it doesn't take long. It's like when you're doing a password, then you start adding things like, you know, exclamation marks and stuff like that. It just complicates. It takes longer, and that's what going to location does.
What's your password? Underscore ampersand capital this letter
Joe.
Yeah. Yeah, back when you could just put your dog's name. Now full 3-2.
You can't do that anymore?
Well, you can.
Oh.
Depends on what it is.
So if
it's your bank account, you probably shouldn't do it.
If we can't, then I got to go change some passwords.
Moran at first, nobody out. And there's ball 4, so 2 men aboard, nobody out.
Ball 4 on a pitch that wasn't close. That was on Greinke-like.
Josh Bell coming up and started to swing the bat better yesterday.
Yeah, the last base hit was really the one that makes it look like, wow, he's getting back. I mean, that was an off-speed pitch, but he just ripped that off that left field wall.
Now Bell with 3 hits yesterday, 2 for extra bases. He had 3 total extra base hits his previous 21 games. So think of those couple of games with 3 walks each. Now with 3 hits, maybe starting to come out of this. Talking with him yesterday, he feels like, well, this is before the game, he felt like, he said the best is yet to come. And of course, yeah, you want to have that confidence, but hadn't heard that certainly not as strongly put from Bell earlier. But he feels confident, and it showed yesterday, that's for sure. Greg, you're not getting some borderline calls there, and Mathis trying to settle him down. And you know, Greinke does not walk a lot of guys. That ball 4 pitch was particularly wild. And our Barrel Automotive League leaders, National League leaders in fewest walks per 9 innings. Ivan Nova perennially on that list, but Zach Greinke up there too, second in the league, fewest walks per 9. Well, Greinke makes a mistake here. Pirates have the lead. Ooh, down the line, and Bell at it again. Moran will come around to score. That's another double for Josh Bell, giving him a run batted in. Pirates have the deficit.
Well, he's been able to use that left field line several times. This one he shoots it right down that corner again.
Nice solid contact. Delighting one onlooker. Well, all 3 of the doubles now the last couple of days. Out to left. One ringing off the wall. Now Bucks on the pond, nobody out. Men in scoring position.
Excellent opportunity to take the lead. Yeah, early on, the score is, you know, we're looking at probably 5 runs total across the board between these 2 teams, and after an inning and a half. It's the kind of series it's been.
Even with, you know, some of these pitchers out there, you go, okay, well, Greinke and Tyone. You're not expecting Greinke to be behind hitters. Well, for all the times that Polanco's had a rough go of it, trying to get Tyone some run support. Polanco's 3 off the team lead in runs batted in this year. I'll make it 4 now after Bell's double, I should say. Bell has taken the team lead.
I'm trying to
bring in those guys out there.
so they're trying to crowd Polanco. And maybe he's not got the scouting report. He's backed off the dish a little bit so he can handle inside pitches better. I mean, that was the move that he made before we left to go on this road trip.
But don't you think he's still got to prove it, though? I mean, that he can hit the inside pitch even though he's off the plate. Still 4 for 46 this year.
Well, when
since he's moved, he's one
to be very honest, if I see somebody move off the plate, I know they don't like the ball inside, and that's why I'm throwing it, no matter what.
Greinke among the most cerebral pitchers in the game today. So,
but I think they're going by the scouting report on him as he
overall
struggles with pitches inside.
Yeah. He has in the last week or so since moving off the plate hit a double. Not a pitch in, but not enough data to tell. But it's a good experiment, that's for sure. It gives him at least that opportunity to be able to hit the ball in better.
Gives him longer to hit the ball away.
Jeff Branson and Jeff Livesey as
You know,
well work
by
hard.
longer, I mean, the further off the plate you are, the longer you got before you have to decide the swing. You get to watch the ball just a little longer before you commit to it.
And Greinke another walk. 2 in the inning. Polanco patiently works that and loads the bases. There's still nobody out.
And it's good to see Polanco accept that walk, because that's another part of moving off the plate. Now the strike zone looks different to you, and you got to get used to that. And the fact that he got that ball 4 and did not chase after that ball 4 pitch that was off the plate away. Maybe he's getting a little more used to that sight picture of where the strike zone is. What's a strike? What's a ball? What's outside? What's not?
Mara Barty, base running outfield first base coach of the Pirates. Now the Diamondbacks cash cow. Didn't want to see the butcher, but the pitching coach comes out here in the 2nd inning.
Nobody out, bases loaded. Got to get a big number out of this.
Mercer's been hitting the ball hard the last few days.
Just a single puts up a 3, and I think it should be minimal of what you get here.
Run already in the books. Yeah, bases loaded, nobody out. 2 runs is, yeah, that's
kind of puts a lot of pressure on Mercer in these situations when he's hitting 8th.
Ahead of the pitcher. Sometimes you expand your zone. Is it you got to try to make something happen, or what do you do?
You expand your zone a little bit. I mean, that's why it's so difficult. I mean, you can't just swing at anything. You don't want to go down on strikes and now have Tyone go up there and he doesn't get a ball put in play, and now it all comes down to a 2-out base hit. Number 8, a lot of times people will talk about it being a difficult place to hit. It's these kind of scenarios that makes it a little more difficult.
Mercer's been in that role. Clint Hurdle's kept him there.
You don't want to. You got an RBI situation. You don't want to leave it to the pitcher. You want to cash it yourself.
Greinke muscling up everything he could behind that pitch. So he threw him a 69-mile-per-hour curveball, and then he threw his best fastball at 93.
Don't see too many of those anymore.
He's thrown one in the 40s before, over for a strike.
Oh,
a little Eephus type, you know. That was just because he had a gentlemanly wager with Randy Wolf. There's a base hit and more.
That's the big hit. And Mercer comes through.
Cervelli's in. Bell is going to score. 2-run double for Jordy Mercer. The Pirates do take the lead right away. 3-2.
That is special. Pressure's on you. Pitcher's on deck.
2 strikes on you.
Up to you. And he didn't throw a single out there either. He hits the ball down the chalk line. Gets himself all the way to second base. Good chance to knock Greinke out of here early, maybe. Get a couple more runs off of him this inning. There's nobody out.
Jordy Mercer's been swinging about well on this road trip.
I don't necessarily knock him out this inning early, but falling behind like this, they're going to have to be quick to make that call down to the bullpen.
There's nobody out.
From here on out, if the Pirates get something going.
There's nobody out in this inning. Greinke has already thrown 27 pitches. And Tyone, I think, cracked his bat there. Not bunting because there's no way to move the guys up unless you squeeze here. So just swinging away. Yeah, get a base hit. Get one in at least. More balls than strikes from the command pitcher Zach Greinke. Well, that's the way to do it. You know, right after that ball popping out of Meadows' glove over the wall.
And Meadows might have a shot to do some damage this inning.
Yeah.
He would love to come up and get an RBI or two.
He's in the hold right now. That'll be the first out of the inning for Greinke, and that comes on his 29th pitch. Meadows will be on deck. Josh Harrison struck out back in the first. So it couldn't be a more contrasting pair of innings for Greinke. He quickly dispatched the Pirates in the first. A couple of strikeouts, 11 pitches. Pirates have wrapped a pair of doubles, a single, 2 walks. And back in standing.
And he was way down the line. They're way late to recognize this. Look how far he came down the line.
Now the third baseman Lamb was right there.
But Lamb never really broke to the bag.
Can't get farther away than the third baseman is to you. And they're playing in, so the third baseman's not going to be that far away from the bag.
That tells me that Polanco must be running on contact for him to be that aggressive coming down the line on a pitch going home.
That makes sense. Second and third, 1 out. Infield in. Now 2-1. Pirates have scored 3 times here in the inning, looking for more. Polanco at third, Mercer at second after his 2-run double. And Polanco not nearly straying from the bag, just a fake throw down. Jeff Mathis back behind the plate. Now the count full. He's already walked 2 in the inning. Greinke's only walked 3 in a game once this season. Puts it in play. That gets the run in, and Mercer alertly scoots to third. Josh Harrison with an RBI, 4-2 Pirates.
Yeah, Polanco definitely going on contact there. We saw how aggressively he was taking those secondary leads. And that was a pretty sharp hit ground ball. Scored without a play.
And Mercer, once the throw came across the diamond, moved to third. Now Austin Meadows gets the bat in this inning. The 8th Pirate to bat against Greinke. And that's got to make Meadows feel better after that ball deflected off of his glove over the wall for a 2-run home run. Pirates immediately answer with 4, and he gets a chance to make it another. Facing one of those guys, I'm sure. You know, you play video games. All right, I'm going to be maybe at that time that was Peralta's home run. when you play you play video games or whatever, and Greinke, one of the top pitchers in the game. Okay, I'll be Greinke, and I'll be the Dodgers or whatever, and play video games. Now you get to face him.
Well, he's doing a little painting on him right there at the corner.
Definitely has a spot he wants to throw to.
He dropped that curveball right there.
That's the slower of the two. This will be the 40th pitch of the inning. Ahmed will record the final out. A 40-pitch inning for Zach Greinke. The Pirates strike for 4. Josh Bell, the opposite field, 2-base hit, and then Jordy Mercer, the 2-run double, and the Pirates now doubling up the D-backs. On the UPMC scoreboard, Bell and Mercer run scoring hits. And that 40-pitch inning by Zach Greinke. Now Jamison Tyone working with a lead. That was needed and felt good.
Yeah, it did. It's something that says, okay, it's not going to be like tomorrow, or excuse me, it wasn't going to be like yesterday. It's a new game, and none of that's happened in the previous 2 matters.
Gerard Dyson is the first out. So quickly 1 out. And talking about that Meadows play earlier, always inviting your questions. Hashtag Bucks Booth, Point Park social media. Why was that not a double? His glove tipped it. Well, that's a good question. For you think about a ground rule double, a ball that bounces on the ground and then over the wall. That's a double. But if it bounces off a player and over the wall, it's a home run because there's no
It's the rule.
Contact with the ground.
I mean, if you didn't have that rule, then especially if you go back, think how old baseball is.
Nick Ahmed trying to butt his way aboard, and he will.
Yes. You'd have a bunch of guys out there trying to jump up, and every time you touch a baseball, it turns it into a double instead of a home run. So
that's a great rationale for it. Yeah. Hadn't thought about it that way.
Yeah, every time all you got to do is just tick it, and oh, it's double. I touched it. So it has to bounce on the ground in order for it to be a double.
That's
book roll double.
Yeah. That's what Bob Prince used to say. There are a number of universal ground rules, and then the universal or ground rules specific to each ballpark as well.
Like if a ball hits the batter's eye above the yellow line, that would be a ground rule in this ballpark.
And sometimes, with all the different angles and things, there's different. This ball is in play, or this ball is that. There's also a rule. There's a ground rule triple we never see. If a fielder throws his glove to try to catch a ball or knock down a ball, a batted ball, it's a ground rule triple. I've seen it one time where a pitcher threw his glove at a ball against a shift to try to prevent it from trickling out into left field or whatever. When there's a 3-base hit, the ball was going to just squirt into the outfield barely. You can't throw your glove at the ball. You can throw, apparently you can take the ball in the glove and throw the whole thing to a fielder, which we've seen a couple of times. A number of quirks like that. And you were talking about, in the old days of baseball, they used to allow fans sometimes, they're very, very deep outfields, and there weren't a whole lot of seats in these older ballparks. Have outfielders or
standing room only in what would be the warning track nowadays.
Yeah, they just rope off an area for fans to stand on the field during the game.
Played in some minor league games like that.
Did you really?
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that was still permissible.
They would have on certain special nights that there was an overflow crowd. They'd let them come out there, and then we had a special ground rule for it.
Well, that one is
good block by Cervelli.
Yeah, looked
that
like
one hit way out in front of home plate.
Pretty close. If Mathis win on that, that would have been strike 3. Now it's ball 3. Now in that game, was that a ground rule triple, ground rule double?
I can't remember. Yeah,
something like that though. Usually,
I'm thinking it was in Richmond.
The
AAA game, yeah.
AAA Braves affiliate at that time.
Jay Hayes calling it.
That was a good question. We're always inviting your questions. Hashtag Bucks Booth, and the Meadows ball went off of his glove. We have to remind ourselves that sometimes using your head isn't good.
That one right off Jose Canseco's head. Watch this. Pang, right on his head over the ball. Home run.
Not remembered for the 400 some home runs he hit. I think we see that more often than any of those. Meadows, though, I think this one will disappear after today. Be a footnote in the early days of his career. Greinke's a .218 career hitter. He has a higher career batting average than the guy that Tyone just got to pop out.
Yeah, he's a better hitter than Mathis.
So a ripping single. John Jay had an infield hit his first time. Two on with 2 out. Well, so much as we've seen, the Pirates take a lead or scoring an inning, and then the Diamondbacks able to answer. And they've been doing that not just in this series. They've been averaging about 7.5 runs a game as they've won 11 of their last 14. Going to win a lot of those when you score 7+ for Torey Lovullo. Got a 3-game lead in the NL West. That's going to be a pass ball. Putting the runners in scoring position.
According to our strike zone, that should have been a strike. Get that up and away corner.
Now the count full. Got to get Jay here. Paul Goldschmidt on deck.
Like that last pitch, 95 running in there in the hands.
Don't want to see that guy with men aboard. The 3-2. And he walks John Jay, and Goldschmidt's coming up with the bases loaded.
That could have been called a strike. It was close, but did not get the call. Watch the strike zone. This is just, it's coming back. That ball was working back toward the zone and needed maybe what, a half inch. That was it. Probably would have got a strike call. You know, when Goldschmidt comes up right in the series, I haven't been sure which Goldschmidt we're looking at. The one from the last couple of weeks or the one for the prior total season where he was just horrible.
Yeah, he leads the league in strikeouts.
In that first game, I mean, it looked like he couldn't get a ball in play.
Yeah, struck out 3 times in that first game.
So, but no matter what, it's still Paul Goldschmidt, and you're still concerned when he steps in there with runners on base.
Taillon got him to fly out on the 11th pitch he saw back in the first inning.
Chase the slider.
It has been amazing to see Taillon pick that pitch up and use it in key situations right away.
Well, he's reaching back a little bit. Might be the best fastball velocity wise of the night or afternoon.
97. One and 2 on Goldschmidt. Base is loaded. Pirates just scored 4 in the top half of this inning to take their first lead.
You know, the way the pitch counts are going for these two guys, you're also thinking that the bullpens are going to have a lot to say, both pens, in the outcome of this game. Because now you have Taillon pushing up close to 50 pitches to get through his first 2 innings.
And Greinke's at 51 pitches through his first 2, standing at second. Well, if Taillon does put up a 0 in the inning, it will have come with a lot of labor.
But the most important thing is he does put up a 0. That's what you got to have here.
Carry the lead for an inning and trying to build off of that. 2 and 2 on Paul Goldschmidt. He struck him out. Got him to chase one out of the zone. And Tyone does put up that 0 here in the second.
Is presented by the authority of the Pittsburgh Pirates and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Third inning coming up here from Phoenix, and the Pirates own a 4-2 lead. That was a nice job of getting Goldschmidt with the bases full.
You know, sometimes you just have to kind of let the at bat develop and see how things go. And obviously right here their plan is just away. Trying to come in, seem threw that one outside a little bit. But now with all these pitches out there, it opens up that up and in spot. You know, when you don't get him and you're thrown 5 in a row out to that one spot, but you're ahead in the count, you're like, well, if I come upstairs and if I can execute a pitch plus, you know, 95 plus fastball up and in after throwing everything down and away, he can't catch up to it, can he? So you give it a shot, you execute the pitch, and no, he could not catch up to it. That was a very nice example of I know that they didn't say, okay, we're going to do this, and with the 7th pitch of the bat, we're going to throw it by him up and in. No, that's not how that goes. You let the at bat develop, you read what he's doing, you read what you have done, and then you make your decision. Okay, up and in is open now, that's where I'm going.
It's not like football where you might script the first 15 plays of the game.
No, it's not. No.
You might have one, or you might have some tendencies in mind.
But you
read swings,
everything
right?
is predicated on what happened just before that.
Marte skies one out to center. Tyson has out number 1. And you
can make some general plans.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to stay away from this guy, and then depending how things go, we're going to take a shot inside occasionally. And now, you know.
And sometimes you got to blow up that play.
And
what
here's how you kind of make some adjustments too. You can flip it on him next time.
You
can pound him in and then strike him out with a slider away on the 5th or 6th pitch if things develop that way.
And you're talking about it executing the pitch. I mean, Trevor Williams yesterday allowed a single to Goldschmidt. He was trying to go down and away. It ended up being more inside where his other pitches were. And so Goldschmidt, who was already looking in, was more apt to be able to hit it. But if he executed the pitch, it was a good idea. So it's.
Yeah, well, what happens
both,
a lot to right-handers, and I guess maybe I'm thinking more from personal experiences. The opposite corner, say with a left-hander hitting, was very easy for me to hit. You know,
arm side.
Yeah, I could throw down there all day long. And now let's say that same deal with a good hitting lefty, a guy that you fear a little bit. You know, you're really pitching him down in a way you're catching that corner, and you've got ahead of him, and you know up and in is where you want to go with that pitch. But in my case, that was not my strength, going to the other side and throwing that ball up and hitting the spot, executing that pitch. So you're right. That's the main deal. It's kind of like most guys know what they need to do. I mean, it's not, as you can see with me talking about it and how obvious it really was what was happening there. It's not rocket science. Oh, well, you got to go up and in here. But now the execution, that's the hard part.
Like Greinke last inning.
Like, what if he would have tried to go up and in there and instead missed right down the middle out over the plate, and the ball goes into the gap for extra bases, clears everything. It's not strategy, it was poor execution. And that's most of the time what it is.
Best thing to do is watch the catcher's glove, right? Most of the time it's set up where they want the pitch.
Why are you bringing the catchers into this?
It helps you see if the pitcher's executing the pitch or not. Got the call.
I'm just kidding, Michael, by the way.
Moran called out on strikes on that pitch down and away out of the zone.
There's the catcher's glove. Greinke is doing just what you said. Ball was outside, but catcher's glove was there. He got the call.
Yeah, you can kind of influence an umpire that way. Well, they must be calling for a strike. Cervelli back in the lineup today. Drew a walk last inning. It was a 40 pitch inning for Greinke, where he walked 2 batters. '89 from Greinke. You've seen him get up there at 93 when he really muscles up, but yeah, he's going to work comfortably in that 89, 90, 91 range.
Yeah, you go back to when he was really young, Kansas City Royal days. Boy, he could really throw.
Time was called before the pitch.
He was one of those guys, kind of like a Tyone, that has the good, pop on the fastball, but had all the other pitches that could go with it to complement that. And I think he's always had great command. And you put all that together, and he's been an elite pitcher.
Took him a while to develop, then became one of the best pitchers in baseball for many years. Comes back and rebounds with a 1-2-3 inning. time for our Lowe's whole team together. The Pirates with a number of pitchers who have been very good at throwing their slider for strikes. And Jameson Taillon, second in the National League. Of course, Nick Kingham when he's been here. Cool. And Edgar Santana also among the top 25. And that tells you something about Taillon, who just brought back the pitch about a month ago. It lay dormant since he's been in Bradenton before his surgeries. Behind 2-0 on Jake Lamb. It takes a special talent to be able to. I mean, he threw 2 bullpen sessions and he's like, yep, I got it. I'm going to take this slider into the game. And I mean, he's used it now. I mean, we've seen it all throughout the day today, but I mean, the last few starts, I mean, he's used it as if he's had it his entire career. Able to get the out. Lamb not getting down the line all the way. Look at the usage of the fastball versus the breaking ball, and see there is a definite trend there as he's incorporated the slider more and more.
Yeah, the slider's made a huge difference in that regard. He really has got away from that fastball now because of the slider. He's got 2 breaking pitches plus a changeup that he can all mix in. And he's become kind of a 50-50 fastball and then the rest of the stuff. Yeah. And I don't know if he's really decided and probably won't until maybe getting closer to the end of the year how he's going to be mixing that slider in with the curveball. Which one's going to be the dominant breaking pitch?
I think he's already made that decision. Don't you think? I mean, the slider.
I don't know. I think it's a little, because I've seen him use the slider almost to exclusion of the curveball, and then to start later he threw a whole bunch of curveballs. He said that, I mean, he told me, he said, I threw way too many sliders. I don't want to do that. So I think he's still feeling for that.
Ketel Marte in there.
There's the hook, the curveball.
And might it be, you know, certain hitters,
certain hitters who's catching him that night. Yeah. You know, catchers have their favorites also of what they like to call. For every guy that goes out there, what they think is his best pitch for a certain scenario, a certain hitter, time of the game, what's working the night. I mean, the variables that goes into what he's going to throw are endless.
On the same page, right there.
And then when things are going good, you have a tendency as a pitcher to not really care much about what the catcher puts down. You're locked in. You're all about execution. Whatever you see, immediately you rock and throw, because you know that you don't need to overthink it. Just execute the pitch and let the catcher run the game as far as what you're going to throw.
Now 3-1. Deep in the hole with Marte's speed, no chance.
No, he's not going to be thrown out on that no matter what. But I've always said that so much time gets put into thinking about what pitch to throw, and really when it comes down to it, it's how the pitch is thrown. Don't you agree?
Yeah,
that's what's important.
Gerard Dyson, the batter. Yeah, and anybody that's at the major league level, they've got the stuff, or that's new to the major league level. I mean, they've got the stuff to be excellent. It's just how often do they do what they want to do. That's what weeds out guys as you move up the ranks.
Yeah, and you can definitely attest to this. You can walk into any A-ball park in the country and you're going to see guys throw 95 You know,
You might see guys with an outstanding curveball.
yeah.
Wow.
But it's
and
the
then the next
execution
four
that's
aren't
going to
very
take them
good.
up the ladder or leave them where they're at. In minor league baseball, you see it all. You get home runs, great catches, great pitchers, but the consistency, the education, or the execution of pitches.
Baseball is a very tough game to play. These guys make it look easy.
Yeah, I think you said to me about it had to be about a month or so ago that you thought, and I started thinking about it since you said that really the difference between minor league players that make it and players that don't is the consistency. It just the more consistency you have, the higher you're going to play and eventually maybe make it and excel at the major league level. And I thought about that right after you said that on the air. It had to be a month ago. So, and I thought about it for a couple of days, and that's right. It's all how often you can do that, because everybody can come up, even to the big league level. You bring somebody out of A ball, and they might go out and throw 7 shutout innings. But can they do it again 5 days from now, and then 5 days after that? The same thing goes for hitters, or whatever position you're playing.
Right at the bag, and the final out. 2-out single. Left on. Through 3 this afternoon. 4-2 Buccos. And some of the best bands in the burg on Friday Night Rocks. Get tuned in to Pittsburgh's music scene as we showcase local artists and tracks throughout every Friday Pirates broadcast. Latecomer, our featured performer this Friday, as the Bucks take on the Reds on Friday Night Rocks, presented by Iron City Beer. Wednesday matinee from the desert, the Valley of the Sun in Phoenix. Nice ballpark here, Chase Field. Wide concourses, nice variety of food options. And a nice coffee stand that I've enjoyed the last couple of days. I'm starting to take after you, Bob. You've really got me into this
Good.
hot beverage.
I'm glad to hear that.
Soft liner. Got in on his hands. Got the first out. Polanco worked the key walk, setting up Mercer's bases loaded 2-run double. Well, Polanco has improved walking this year. He's second on the club with 30 walks.
There's the ball. I don't know why they all called for that ball. Yeah, all those guys wanted that ball. They have something in mind for it, apparently.
Trying to come inside again on Polanco. Yeah, your pitcher, you want to hold a ball.
No, they got something in mind for it. Think they're going to peel it?
Is that what you do when you got a day off as a starting pitcher?
Sometimes.
Look inside.
They used to find busy work for you to do. Like keep this chart, do this, do that. They kind of put you on your own now.
Yeah, black box does that. A 67-mile-per-hour curveball. That's the old nephew Charlie. Spent Father's Day at the ballpark with Dad when the Pirates host the Reds this Sunday at 1:35. Kids and dads both take home a replica batting practice cap thanks to Kennywood. Don't forget the family fun zone on Federal Street before the game, and afterward kids and dads can run the bases. Go to pirates.com/kidsdays. Get your tickets. Come on out. Pirates open up weekend set against the Reds on Friday night. That one out to right. Mercer's been stinging the ball. He's got a home run.
He hit it where they pitched, or where Greinke pitched him. We show it again. Watch this location. I mean, this is perfect hitting.
He has really hit the ball hard on this road trip. 3 RBIs today for Mercer after that 4th home run of the year.
They go up and away, and that's, well, okay, I'm going to hit this ball the outfield the other direction.
Zap. Well, that's what you want to do, Bob, ahead of the pitcher. You want to hit a home run.
Hey,
good strategy.
He's hot right now. Stay hot.
Well, we were talking about it in the Chicago series.
Yeah, even his outs where he was stinging the ball.
And we said, you know, if he keeps hitting in like this, he's going to get some of those hits. He got a little bloop double, but also
he deserved that bloop double.
Yes, he did.
All the other ones he had hit hard. He hit like maybe 3 in a row right on the money and made 3 outs.
And then it's the inning, but not before the Pirates pick up a run. Greinke equaling his season high. 5 runs allowed.
for the Toyota all-wheel drive RAV4th inning. Toyota, what drives you?
It's a whole new ball game with RBI Baseball 18. RBI Baseball 18 delivers an all-new franchise mode and much more. RBI Baseball 18 available now. Learn more at rbigame.com. Rated E for everyone. Rated G for great. Right there, the home run by Mercer after that 2-run double earlier. 3 RBIs already for Mercer.
Difference in ball game.
Nick Ahmed bunted his way aboard his first time around. Tyone entering the inning at 65 pitches. He allowed a 2-run home run to Peralta back in the first that deflected off the glove of Meadows and over the wall.
I sure would like to see him get some quick outs, wouldn't you? Maybe a single-digit inning or two. He could go as deep as he can in this game.
I mean, it's been no secret the Pirates bullpen has fallen on hard times. The best he's done is a 16-pitch inning so far, and that's about average. The other two, though, running up that pitch count. The ERA of 7.5 over the last 16 games for the Pirates pen. Against a Diamondbacks offense that has generated about 7.5 runs a game in this long winning stretch. Glenn Hurdle pointing to left field here.
Well, Cervelli definitely is calling for a foul ball, or yeah, foul ball. Yeah, that's foul ball.
Just stating the case, unless the umpire thinks otherwise. The call is the call. So
well, it was a foul ball and it was in the strike zone to boot. There should have been a strike twice.
Out to deep left center. 1 out. All's well that ends well. Jeff Mathis, a 198 career hitter.
How many seasons is that?
This is his 14th season. I was looking that up, and no one other than pitchers have had that low of a batting average stuck around this long in baseball history. He's a fine defensive catcher, but nothing outstanding, you know, statistically. He's always been a good catcher. Came up in 05 with the Angels. He's below the Euchre line.
That makes sense.
And Tyone with a pair of outs. He's thrown 9 pitches, and he got the pitcher coming up. Although Greinke laced a single his first time.
Well, this is the type of inning he needs. Maybe one more after this. The pitch count where he needs to be.
When the Pirates are in the lead, he does not have to come out for a pinch hitter if he's rolling on the mound.
Yeah, Absolutely, that's what you want to do. And I want him to throw a minimum of 6 innings. You don't want the bullpen to have to cover more than 3 in this game. And you know, pitch count wise, if he was to finish, you know, this inning up in the 80s somewhere, like 86, 87, well then that'd be difficult for him to stay under 100 and pitch 2 more innings. So he needs to get Zinke or Greinke and Zinke.
Combine them together, yeah.
With the Z, with the
Zinke.
Zinke. Get Zinke here on this pitch.
You would think Rock would be talking about Zinke. Not
yeah. Probably is over there.
drinking some mineral water.
Zinc's good for you. You get a cold, right?
I don't know.
I think it is. I think that's
Dr. Bob.
One of the cold remedies.
Usually I enjoy some nickel and some other fine trace elements. Zinc. How do you get zinc?
You get a lozenge.
What do you eat? A penny?
You ever go in and see they have lozenges and they're fortified with zinc for
really?
Getting a cold? Yeah. Try it.
Try it. Tell them Bob sent you. There's a relatively quick inning. 1, 2, 3.
Just enough zinc there.
Pirates still up 5-2.
On AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Barrel Automotive. With express service, you're in and out in no time. Visit barrelservice.com to find a location near you. And by Allegheny Health Network, official medical provider of the Pittsburgh Pirates and fans like you. Let's go Bucks!
5-2. Pirates have the advantage through 4 innings this afternoon in Phoenix. Top of the order coming up. Josh Harrison with a bounce out that plated a run his last time. Top of the order, 0 for 6 against Greinke. First 2 times around. Top 3 men. Pirates been squawking about the strike zone the last couple innings. Very borderline. By the red yarn of the baseball, a strike.
Well, that's how Greinke is going to try and pitch. Everything has to be just nicking the edge, keeping it down, moving it around. Well, that wasn't on the edge. And it got tattooed.
Shook him off twice, and then Harrison lines out.
And then there's another factor of this game. Talked about execution and strategy, and then the third thing, which is as important as anything else, and maybe more important than any of the other ones, is luck. It dominates it big time. Round ball, round bat. So you can have both the strategy and the execution, and it still doesn't come out right for you. Or you mess up both, and hey, line drive at somebody. Got him out.
That's why it's played in real life, not on paper, right? All the probabilities, all the statistics, and then you see what happens. Ahead now on Austin Meadows. Greinke kind of salvaging his afternoon after that 40 pitch second inning where the Pirates scored 4 of their 5 runs. Hanging around to maybe at least get through 5, maybe even into the 6th today. Pirates hoping to generate something, knock them out. That 40 sticks out at you right there.
Yeah, it's going to be. I mean, what he's doing right now, he's just trying to limp into that maybe 6th inning and have the game still somewhat close. That's his goal right now.
Diamondback starter Clay Buchholz yesterday went only 4 innings, so Torey Lovullo with a somewhat limited bullpen like the Pirates.
They bring in a new pitcher?
No. They activated a 3rd catcher in Mathis.
Oh, that's what they did. That's right.
So they've got a 7-man pen who was heavily used yesterday. Little twirler. Little pinwheel curveball that got the windmill for Meadows. Look at the lowdown. Scores around baseball. Some of the action complete. Brewers back-to-back shutout wins over the Cubs. First time they've done that since '06.
Big question mark with the Brewers, even right when the season started, where they're going to have the pitching to back up what could be a pretty good offense for them. So far, so good.
The offense had got off to a very sluggish start. It's awakened. And the pitching still standing up, which surprised the heck out of me. I still gotta give them credit. They have found some guys unearthing some pitchers that have been very effective for them. And they've got a 1.5 game lead over Chicago now with the victory today. Two 2-0 on Marte. Marte's been really connecting in this series, but Greinke's made him have that one-handed wave a couple of times now. That one slammed out to center. Dyson can only watch it, and that is in play. Marte drifts in with a double. A matter of time the way he's been swinging the bat.
That's where that ground roll situation comes in out there with that yellow line going across the batter's eye. I couldn't tell where that ball hit.
Such a high drive out there. Over the line, it's a home run. Underneath it,
that definitely hit well underneath it.
And then you got to play it. And it can hit that overhang, which it didn't there, but it can hit that overhang and be in play, which is kind of goofy.
Over there where the folks are sitting at some tables, kind of both sides of the batter's eye.
You know, now that they use the humidor and it's not this Martian surface anymore with the ball flying out of here, maybe they will bring that line down beneath the overhang, so you don't have all that occasional really goofy deflection. You hit it that far, that's a home run, right?
I don't think so. I think you got to hit it over the top of that railing and get it into the crowd for it to be a home run.
Well, no, now currently it is. But
and that's why I think it should be. That's why. That's why I thought you were asking me.
Oh, you like it? You want it to be out there?
Yeah, I think it's. I can see why they do that. That you don't put a line at the bottom of a railing.
Yeah. Maybe they can make the line move, just randomly. And just missed. It's too high at this point. Yeah. Maybe that'll be like that. Maybe they'll have rising walls a few decades from now in baseball. Go up and down.
No lines at all. You hit it in the crowd, it's a home run. If you don't, it's not.
I like it. Wait a minute. Back to the future. 3-1 on Moran. Greinke had 96 pitches here in the fifth. 5 runs allowed today, equaling the season high. Cervelli hoping for a chance here with 2 outs.
Greinke liked something there. Not sure what it was, man. Nodded yes about 5 or 6 times.
And for Greinke, matching a season high with his 3rd walk issue.
He'll be over 100 pitches here in a moment. Don't know how long they'll go with him. I agree with you. They would like to stay out of that bullpen as long as they can. But nowadays, you get to 100, you start to think that the starter is about done.
Even a veteran like Greinke.
And it's a lot of pitches. 5 innings also.
Yeah, it's more of the he's really labored, except for the 1st and 3rd innings. I mean, he kind of zipped through those frames, was kind of moving along through the 4th, and then allowed the home run to Mercer. But the 2nd and now here in the 5th, normally a resolute, quick worker. Just now some action. TJ McFarland. Despite using a lot of guys.
Seen him yet?
Yeah, hasn't pitched in the series. But they've got all their options. They've got some guys that probably prefer to stay away from today, but no one's pitched 2 days in a row. Two on and 2 out for Cervelli.
After what's happened these first couple of games, nothing seems comfortable lead-wise. You like to see the Pirates add on every chance they can get. So here's a pretty good opportunity. Speed at second. The king of the 2-out RBI at the plate.
At 25, 2-out runs batted in for Cervelli, trying to get Marte. Yeah, base hit. With Marte's speed with 2 outs, yeah, he'd score. And a 4th walk issued by Greinke. Back-to-back men reach on a base on balls. That fills him up with 2 outs.
It's almost like he knows that if he throws a strike, he's going to get hit hard. His only chance is to get guys to chase, and they're not chasing. And now he's chased here at Chase Field.
Well done. Torey Lovullo's out. Shortest outing of the season for Zach Greinke. Of Inside Pirates Baseball, not far from PNC Park, you'll find a stunning tribute to the great Roberto Clemente, and whose idea it was, how the location was chosen, plus what apps help the players when they're on the road. Those stories and our top plays debut this Saturday after Pirates postgame. Zach Greinke out before completing the 5th inning for the first time all season. Pirates have struck for 5, looking for more with 2 outs. Bases full of buccos. Josh Bell. RBI double back in the 2nd. TJ McFarland turns him around.
$40 innings in 22 games.
Righties have had more success hitting more than 100 points higher off them than left-handed batters. A 2-out double by Marte, followed by walks to Moran and Cervelli. Chasing the change, 1 and 2. Can really break it open here. A 3-run game. Get some cushion. Get right back to it. McFarland has allowed 4 of the 6 inherited runners to score this year. He's And inherited 3 right here. 2-out chance for Bell. The old fastball strikes him out. Pirates threaten but do not score in the 5th. Free Shirt Friday this Friday when they take on the Reds at 7:05. The first 20,000 fans through the gates take home a free Pirates t-shirt thanks to Sheets. Plus it's a $1 dog night presented by Sugardale. Get your tickets at pirates.com/free shirt Friday. 5-2 Pirates on the UPMC scoreboard. Good to see all the Bucco fans.
Got his glove. He's ready too.
Yeah.
Foul ball. Can't just have it in your lap. You got to have it on.
All ready to go.
You never know. You can guess a little bit if it's a right-hand hitter or a left-hand hitter.
Try to shade,
yeah,
you know, shade the pole or.
No, for a foul ball, I think you play to hit the other way.
And depending on how occupied your row is, you can shift accordingly.
Now, if you're in the front row on the pole side, you might have a shot at a ground ball. But if you're back away from the field a little bit, you need something in the air. You got to have them put it the other way.
That's a lot of moving back and forth.
Some people will do that. The expert foul ball hunters, they have their charge just like everybody else. Everything's all charted down, and they know where everything's going.
Two 2-0 now to Goldschmidt. Yeah, those guys, they're trained. Ladies back at PNC Park, they know what they're doing. Those guys know what to do. Goldschmidt with his 4th hit of the series, all singles.
Found a hole, and there's nothing impressive about that hit. Looked like it was off the bat. Ball down and away. Maybe the last 2 inches of the bat at most. Lucky, put it right where there was nobody standing in the infield.
The Pirates have handled Goldschmidt nicely in the series. Town striking him out with the bases loaded last time.
The big story when we were in Chicago was, have you seen what Goldschmidt's doing?
Yeah, I mean, multiple extra base hits. And hitting, I think it was 682 in his previous 5 games with tons of extra bases, home runs. No extra base hits in the series. Lamb flies out, 2 gone. And, hey, let's give Tyon a lot of credit right now. I mean, the Diamondbacks, like I said, I mean, I keep repeating this because it's astounding. They've won 11 of 14. They're averaging about 7.5 runs a game. That's their average over more than 2 weeks. And if it weren't for a ball that popped out of Meadows' glove and went over the wall, he'd be shutting him out right now. Peralta down to strike. I think that deserves merit. And if it weren't for that ball, the Peralta home run, it was in and out of the glove. He hasn't allowed an extra base hit today either. And gets through the 5th.
Nice efficient inning for him. Still under 90 pitches.
5-2 the Pirates on. The action starting in the 1st inning for Arizona. Would have been the final out. Instead, a 2-run home run. But the Pirates quickly with an answer. Josh Bell had a couple of doubles yesterday. 2-bagger there, plates a run, and then Jordy Mercer. 2-run double with the sacks packed. Pirates would add another run on a Harrison groundout. And then Mercer with a big fly. Accounting for the 5 Pirates runs, knocking Zach Greinke out prior to completing the 5th for the first time all year. The Legends race between innings. The short time, the 20 years of the Diamondbacks, touting their notable players in large-headed form.
I think Randy Johnson might have won that race. Glanced down, I believe it was his large head that was leading the pack.
Luis Gonzalez, also large-headed.
I need a large hit here. More runs, more runs. Mercer on deck. He's had the big bat today.
Polanco worked a key walk ahead of Mercer in that 2nd inning. And then Mercer driving in a pair. He's knocked in 3 today. And Marte and Polanco beating it out. Hustling hard down that line, and those legs beating out a base hit.
Yeah, a little chopper to the left side. You think, oh, you might have a chance of beating it out, but a chopper to the right side. Well, this is one you don't see very often. No contest. He beat it easy.
Yeah. Getting out of the box quickly. That's the only reason he gets a hit right there. So softly hit. Looking on the Allegheny Health Network Supermo. Oh yeah, he's in there.
Yep, no problem. Probably about a size 13 or so is slamming down on that bag way before the ball traveled his last probably foot.
Now, once in a while you can buy yourself a hit that way. Mercer did it the easy way last time around. Just sent it over the wall.
Mercer trying to rip another one down that line. The adjustments you have to make during a ball game is not just about thinking about what the last at bat was. What did this pitcher do to me? What did I do to him? Several times during a game, it might, well, not several, but a couple of times during a game, it's going to change. There'll be somebody else out there. In this case, not even a right-hand pitcher. Mercer has to throw those previous two successful at bats out the window and think, start all over. Now, this will be way different from what I saw early. Choking up a little bit.
Another change of pace. That helped him set up the strikeout of Bell back in the fifth. McFarland able to strand the bases loaded. And the Gold Glover able to do the 3-6-3 double play. Made that look easy.
Does Jordy think he beat that? He's not leaving. It was a nice idea by Jordy. He was trying to shoot one into that hole.
Well, live, I didn't think that he beat it, but
the Pirates now are saying no, they're not going to challenge. So they've already looked at it in replay, and wow, I don't know.
He was down the line pretty quickly.
Yes, he was. I can see why he didn't turn right and head to the dugout.
Well, you give yourself a chance.
That was close.
Yeah, ball hit that well right up first. Goldschmidt able to get 2 outs out of that.
Here it is again. We'll see it in slow motion. Where's the ball at? There.
Ooh,
wow.
Boy.
That is.
Yeah, he's out by the
right inch. Maybe.
Length of his spikes. Yeah.
We couldn't see those. The spike might have actually been touching the base. That's how close it was.
If he was wearing platform shoes, he would have been safe. Well, maybe not. He wouldn't have run as fast. So Tyone bats here, meaning he will start the 6th at 89 pitches. Josh Harrison hoping to get a time at bat here in this 6th inning. Third time today that Tyone has swung the bat. And McFarland with the strikeout. Pirates still own the advantage 5-2.
Sportsnet. I'm Robbie and Smikowski here at one of the coolest parts of Chase Field, the 20-year anniversary experience. Diamondbacks, 2 decades of baseball as a franchise. Plenty of memorabilia here. Autographed baseballs by many coaches and players and other dignitaries that have come through here. Gold Gloves, Cy Young Awards, Silver Sluggers, they're all here as well. Also, the pitching rubber from Randy Johnson's perfect game back in 2004. But Joe and Bob, the coolest part might be the exhibit from the 2001 World Series title that the Diamondbacks won over the New York Yankees. Game jerseys from Randy Johnson and Luis Gonzalez, who delivered the dramatic Game 7 World Series winning hit off Mariano Rivera. And of course, the World Series trophy is right there for fans to come and get a look at, take a picture, you name it. Plenty of stuff to check out here beyond right center field, celebrating the 2 decades and counting of Diamondbacks baseball, guys.
Well, thanks, Robbie. And yeah, the 2001, that was always such an amazing end of the World Series. The skipper was Bob Brenly, who's how it works.
Right next door.
Crew, yeah. Beating the Yankees. Really ending that Yankees dynasty run that they had in the late 90s, early 2000s. One quick out. And in that booth, the Joe Garagiola broadcast booth, and Joe, a big part of the Diamondbacks organization when it was first founded. First longtime player, broadcaster, former Pirate. I'm sure his signature is on one of those. I loved watching the broadcast crew of Vin Scully and Joe Garagiola when they were doing the game of the week in the 80s.
You know, even though the Diamondbacks don't have a long history like a lot of other teams, this area has always embraced baseball. Not only just having a AAA team for a long time, but you know, so many decades of spring training baseball has been played out here in Arizona over the years. A lot of baseball people have always, you know, lived and grown up and been around the Phoenix area over the decades.
And now Major League Baseball, and it has been for a couple of decades. And this area has grown so much too.
Yeah, that's for sure. It has exploded.
I think it coincided with the prevalence of air conditioning. They used to have a AAA team, the Firebirds, here, and they would have that Phoenix Municipal Stadium, the little misters, just to spray a little water on the
I played there,
fans, yeah, and just to try to cool you off a little bit. Outdoor stadium, still in use for the A's spring training. Prior to their move to Mesa, A's just moved what 2-3 years ago now, but long time use there. Tom Kioski right behind the camera there. Out to right. Right into the glove of Polanco. Back-to-back 9-pitch innings for Tyone. Goes through 6, working with the lead.
On AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by the Chevy Silverado and your Western PA Chevy dealers, and by Levin's, the official furniture and mattress supplier to the Pittsburgh Pirates. For the best quality, service, and value, shop Levin's. Let's go Bucks!
Out here in the Wild West, 5-2, the Pirates taming the Snakes.
He has been the new sheriff in town today.
Really, hat tip to Jameson Tyone, the way that he's pitched this Diamondbacks club.
And it's not all the way he's pitched. How about the way he got real efficient with his pitches in the last couple innings to put him in a position where he can even go a little deeper now. Looks like they're going to get 7 innings out of him.
There was a hope that he would just give you 5.
Yeah. And, we weren't really looking forward to that because of the problems with the bullpen of late. But now it looks like 7 is in the cards.
Well, he billed this one as a matchup of big game pitchers, and Zach Greinke no doubt deserves that title as well. And but Greinke, a season short, 4 2/3. Pirates got to him for 5 runs. He walked season most 4 today. And a save for a ball that deflected out of Austin Meadows' glove and over the wall for a home run. He had been shutting them out over those 6 innings. A weird play that you'll undoubtedly see for the highlight reel for the week. And right now, just a footnote in this affair. Didn't feel that way at first with the Bucks down 2-0, but they immediately responded with 4 runs. and have been in control ever since.
McFarland wanted that. See his reaction. A little skip look on his face. I mean, it was close, but it was definitely off the plate. Didn't want that one.
Now 2-2. Called out on that. Reynolds now 0 for 4 today.
Center field, Starling.
He had thought he had worked the count full.
Well, you can see why he took it.
And look where it crossed the plate. I mean, it's beneath the knees.
Yeah.
A good margin.
Yeah. Even a ball in the old-fashioned eye test.
Yeah, you don't need the window pane. Meadows having a case of the Mondays today, with the Bucks on this Wednesday lead by 3. Marte ripped a double, hitting it high off the center field wall his last time around.
Would have been a fairly long home run. That would have been hit at PNC. Bushes maybe.
That certainly had good distance. He's hit 406 feet. So yeah, your eyes don't deceive you. The old-fashioned eye test.
That would reach the bushes, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Come awfully close to it. 399 in center field, right? For PNC.
Pirates have worked 5 walks today.
How about the first steal of the day?
Third baseman, Colin Moran.
Yeah, this is the right situation for it. Trying to get into scoring position with 2 outs for Moran. You got a lefty pitcher on the mound who can look right at you. And you have a catcher in Mathis, who has thrown out 3 of the 7 trying to steal this year. Back in there today after celebrating the birth of a baby girl back on Sunday. And a strike.
Doesn't look like Marte is very comfortable with his lead. McFarland leg kick has got him buffaloed a little. He's moving back toward first as that ball's going home.
And really tending to him over there.
See, that's the thing too about that is, I mean, he can be moving back to first, moving back to first, moving back to first, and it kind of lulls the pitcher at times into a sense of security. You think, okay, and then you start to lift your leg, and instead of going back to first, boom, he's off like a shot to second.
Ties up Moran.
And in Marte's mind, I'm taking a big lead. I'm going on first move. Even if he throws behind me to the first baseman, you know, I still got a 50-50 chance that it won't be a good throw. You know, something I still might be able to get into second base.
Well, now Moran down 2 strikes. A lot of kids here today with the afternoon game. And some big groups with matching T-shirts.
Summertime. It does feel like summer here.
I'd say. It was 185 degrees at game time outside. 185.
Let's see what it really is.
Well, you don't believe me.
No.
Marte runs, and Moran strikes out to end the inning.
109, by the way.
Here indoors, 5-2 Pirates.
JMO to step up today and have a good game, and hey, boy, that has been the case. A lot of lazy fly balls. He's been throwing his curveball downstairs right where he wanted to, and he's also been able to pitch. You saw that fastball up and in to Goldschmidt. We talked a lot about that pitch. That's a perfect example of how he's had everything going today. The stuff, the location, the strategy, all been there for Tyone. A little bit of bad luck with those first 2 runs. That wasn't his fault, but he shrugged it off. Didn't matter to him. And he's even been able to calm his pitch count down these last couple innings, and that's why he's still out there in the 7th.
He was at 80 pitches through 4. He was at 49 pitches through the first 2 innings today. So to be able to throw a ball in the 7th, and I can't understate this or overstate this enough. I mean, the Diamondbacks have been scoring at will.
Yeah, look what he did. 15 in the 4th, then 9 and 9. I mean, that's what he had to do, and he did it. Pulled it off. Now, can he finish this inning? We'll see.
Edgar Santana.
They probably have an absolute limit of about 115 with him, I would imagine.
He's fallen behind the leadoff man. Mathis hitting below 200 in his career. Guy you can challenge. 183 this year.
Huh?
Wow.
Oh, man.
That was surprising.
We'll just let the replay speak for itself.
Oh. Don't ever let them see you sweat. So a leadoff walk, and Alex Avila will pinch hit. First time we've seen him in the series.
Good visit here by Cervelli for sure. After ball one, you got to call time and go out. Say, hey, don't worry about that walk. That was on the umpire, but we got to get back into that strike zone. You don't have many pitches to play with here.
And it's a 3-run game. I mean,
well, yeah, that takes precedent over everything. The tying runs is still not even at the plate yet, so we can't help them out with base on balls.
Once you got the top of the lineup coming up after Avila, just a 120 hitter.
Gonna go with a slider. It looks like saw the 3 drop down.
They signed him to a 2-year deal, and after finishing strongly with the Cubs last year, can be doubled up, get that ground ball. All right, stack up 3 on the right side, play him to pull on the ground. There's 1,
2,
and do it that way. A double play.
That'll work.
And now Tyon's got a chance to pitch through 7 tonight.
Yeah, sitting at 106, just needs 1 more out. I don't think I think he'll get a hug when he gets back to the dugout. Maybe that makes up for a little bit of the bad luck he had earlier in the game when the ball bounced out of Meadows' glove, went over the fence. He needs something good to happen to him right there. He gives up a line drive. I mean, a pretty hard hit ball, and gets a double play out of it.
Well, now you got Jay in front of Goldschmidt, nearing the end of the line. I would guess this would be his last batter, one way or the other. Jay with an infield hit today. Right up first. What a day for Jamison Tyone. This Diamondbacks offense has been the hottest in baseball, and he limits them through 7 strong innings today.
No, you can't. came up big right when the Pirates needed it. It's just something you expect, I think, from Jamison. I know the first part of the season hasn't gone exactly the way I think he expected, a lot of us expected, but today he showed why those expectations are there. That's the type of pitcher he is.
Pitched like an ace today, really being a stopper, and save for that quirky play in the first inning. I mean, he pitched like he put up 7 scoreless against the Diamondbacks. 2 runs over 7 innings against a club that's averaging 7.5 runs a game over the past 2.5 weeks or so.
Yeah, and
unbelievable.
As you said,
very good.
It could easily be a shutout, and maybe even where he could go back out there and pitch some more. He's working on a shutout, but well, that's nitpicking.
yeah.
So,
but
heck of a
surely
job.
a very strong outing and a needed one after the Diamondbacks stormed back in game 1 to win and got out to that big start yesterday. The Pirates had a chance to come back improbably, and then today they've been cruising.
Chafin, what he's done on the season, good opponent average down in the low 200s at 210.
He's been irritating.
Put a little powder on him, huh?
Yeah. Chafin.
All right, how's that? Is that better?
Why did you introduce me to coffee? Makes me say things like that. Cervelli's worked a couple of walks today. First game back since Saturday. TJ McFarland went 2 1/3 scoreless, stranding the 3 inherited runners he had, keeping the Diamondbacks in this.
After being out a couple of days, Cervelli catching a fine game this afternoon and getting on base a couple of times. Welcome back.
Blasted out to center. And Dyson able to get there in the deepest part of this ballpark. That's a home run in a lot of places.
At our home ballpark. That is
First baseman, Josh.
in the right field stands. Not very deep, but maybe 1 or 2 rows back. A lot of center field here to cover. You have to have a talented center fielder to play here. Guy with speed. It's 407 behind him, but then 413 in the corners to his right and to his left.
Projected distance on Statcast 407 on that ball hit by Cervelli.
Yeah, there's excellent chance that's a home run almost everywhere we play.
Yeah, usually in these retractable roof stadiums, sometimes you see that kind of
Flat.
flat center field or whatever, but open air parks, it starts to already give way and you can get it out of there. Goldschmidt's going to have room. 2 up and 2 down in the Pirates' 8th inning. On Saturday, the Pirates will take on the Reds at 4:05, and the first 19,999 fans will take home a Pirates Hawaiian shirt. Thanks to AT&T Sportsnet. Plus, before the game on Federal Street, there will be a Margaritaville block party featuring live music, food trucks, and autographs from 1960 Cy Young Award winner Vernon Long. For tickets, go to pirates.com. It was going to be 20,000, but you took one of the shirts.
19,999. Sorry.
You wore it yesterday. How did it feel? Was it
Great shirt. I got a lot of compliments on it when I first came, as soon as I came out of the hotel right there, out by the bus, somebody came up to me and commented on the shirt. It was a good looking shirt.
Snazzy.
Very
Probably
snazzy.
the word. Snazzy.
I don't know if that was the word. Just said it's a good looking shirt.
Well, you modeled it well yesterday. It looked good. We definitely can find you, and we knew your allegiance. And that's David Peralta of the Diamondbacks. I guess they have a similar.
That's their shirt that they'll be giving away.
Can you have a Hawaiian shirt in the desert? I guess.
A lot closer to Hawaii here than in Pittsburgh.
I guess so. 1-2-3 inning for Andrew Chafin.
The old school through those bullpen doors is the bullpen cart they brought back, and Stephen Brault and I took a ride in it. And one of the things I asked him is, who is a teammate most likely to use it, and also the least likely to use it, in your opinion?
I would be very, very surprised if Edgar Santana does not use the bullpen cart. I think that he's the kind of guy that just wants to do as little effort as possible, so he's ready to go on the mound, and I don't really see him turning it down. Least likely is Tyler Glasnow. I'll tell you why. Tyler Glasnow is so much faster than this cart would ever be able to go. I don't know what the 0 to 60 on this thing is, but there's no way it's as fast as Tyler. Each stride is like the length of this cart. It's got no chance of keeping up with him.
Well, caller Stephen Brault surprised because Edgar Santana is on the mound here, guys, for the bottom of the 8th inning, and he did not take the bullpen cart. Now, first of all, Stephen's totally joking, giving his teammate a hard time. The other thing that Ray Searage said, he didn't think anybody would use it because the run here is so short. The bullpen is literally at the right field foul pole, and every guy that's ridden in that so far, there have been about a handful of guys, have signed the inside of the front window of that bullpen cart. Pretty cool addition, bringing back the old school. How about that?
I like it, Robbie. Did you have to get a special license to drive that thing? Or?
Yes, I did. I had to get my learner's permit again to be permitted to drive that on the infield warning track. And safe to say, no one was harmed in the filming of that taping there, okay?
Did a nice job.
Yeah, who could be harmed when you're going maybe 2 miles an hour? That was the slowest I've ever seen anybody move.
Colin McHugh of the Astros.
Yeah, so Brad Ziegler used it. A couple other guys. Drawing a blank right now on some of the. Colin McHugh was the first one with the Houston Astros to use it. And yeah, it was pretty cool. D-backs were cool enough to let us sit in there, and Brian Enloff did a great job setting it up, and we had a little fun with Stephen Brault.
No, that's a funny take on it. There's here's some of the participants.
Sean Doolittle used it as well. You imagine Jared Hughes racing the bullpen cart? He would blow that cart away.
Well, I was looking to see when the Reds come to town, not till August, so we'll see. Maybe he'll race it.
I noticed the other day that somebody had a coat down there. I don't know why, but the cart brought the coat, jacket, whatever, to the dugout, and the pitcher went to the center of the diamond.
Stephen Brault made a joke.
Well, trying to bring it back. First year in baseball that we've had it since '95, I think. Milwaukee, the last team to.
I had an idea, a few years back. in Milwaukee. You know, they have the Harley Davidson that they bring like the ball in.
Yeah.
Put a sidecar on that and bring the pitchers in from the bullpen with the Harley and put the pitcher in the sidecar.
Yeah.
Just, you know, just put them in. That'd be great. And that bullpen is way out there, way out in the outfield.
I like it.
I think you should. I know you still have a lot of close friends up there. You should throw that out.
Throw that their way. Maybe
marketing department.
And buy the Pirates a break.
And I'll bet you there would be pitchers that would say, "What? Right? Yeah, sure, I'll ride in that."
Did you ever ride in a bullpen car? That was more prevalent when you were pitching.
Yeah, I don't really remember. By the time I was a bullpen guy, that was more when I was starting out with the Pirates a little later in my career, and I don't really remember actually riding in one. I remember them being in the bullpens. I remember like guys would sit in one and watch the game, limited seats back in those days. But I don't think I ever actually took a ride in one.
Well, Robbie's got the keys. 2 outs for Santana here in the 8th. Walt sitting in the bullpen down there. And it's the
it's 3 innings yesterday. Right?
Went 3. Thought he might be able to steal another win as Felipe Vasquez getting up in back of Santana. David Peralta, the lone reason the Diamondbacks have any runs today. He hit one of the more improbable home runs you'll ever see back in the 1st inning. In and out of the glove of Meadows. And Meadows wasn't, you know, if you're an outfielder, you're leaping over the wall and deflects off the glove. Okay, that's difficult. There's fans, there's all sorts of things. The craziest thing, just off the webbing of the glove and then over the wall. So probably will never happen to Austin Meadows again.
No, you wouldn't think so. I mean, he was real very close to the wall there. This ball doesn't get up very high. What do you think? Maybe 10 inches, a foot or so from the wall as that ball was hitting his glove.
Yeah. Anywhere else, it's going to fall beside him and then pick it up, throw it in.
But more likely what happened is that if it just barely got in the glove, it would, as his glove then slammed into the wall, it might pop out and, as you say, fall down beside him.
But instead,
look back now and smile at it a little bit, as long as we get 4 more outs.
Yeah, the Pirates, I think, are so critical. The next half inning, they come up and score 4 times, and they've led throughout. Vasquez still tossing. If the Pirates are going to go on to win today, we have seldom seen a game like this. Get an early lead and hold on to it, and not a lot of shenanigans. Bucks up 5-2. Jordy Mercer going to lead off the Pirates' ninth. Good look on the Allegheny Health Network Super Mo. Jordy Mercer with 3 RBIs today, and he will face Silvino Bracho.
Bracho's not giving up hardly any hits. Talk about a nice opponent batting average. 105.
Really been hitting the ball hard, even on that double play ball. That time got underneath it.
Up in the rafters. Always got to come down though.
And Corey Dickerson going to bat for Edgar Santana. Corey entering the day among the leaders in batting average. So Vasquez for the ninth, as expected. The lead is 3 at the moment. On to Ketel Marte. That is Diamondbacks' pen. Give them credit. They have kept Arizona in this game today. They've allowed just 1 infield hit. Pirates have not had a man in scoring position since they've gone to the pen today.
And they had to pitch a lot today and yesterday.
Josh Harrison 0 for 4, picked up a run batted in back in the second.
They threw some fairly low ERAs at us this series and didn't pan out. I think of the Diamondback starting pitching.
Yeah, Musgrove beat Corbin in the opener. Pirates have a 3-run lead, 3 outs to go, and Felipe Vasquez coming on. And the Bucks return home after today's game. They'll open up a long homestand Friday against the Reds. Chad Kuhl goes for the Buccos against Matt Harvey for the Reds. Our coverage on AT&T Sportsnet begins at 6:30. The Pirates pregame presented by WB Mason.
And Felipe Vasquez will come in and see if he can nail down his 12th save of the season. Maybe this win in that long homestand coming up will start a little bit of a winning streak. Pirates could use one right now. At some point, things got to turn around, start going back the other way a little bit. Maybe this fine start by Tyone will be the spark for that. And that nice homestand coming up.
Yeah, the Pirates will enjoy 10 games at home. Pirates have posted a winning record at PNC Park, so perhaps today could be a springboard. But first, 3 outs to go against a tough offense. .100 miles an hour from Vasquez.
Nice.
Well, last year among the leaders in triple-digit pitches. This year, just that one outing that on that Tuesday against the Padres a couple weeks ago.
2 outings. That one awfully close at 99. Average speed out of his fastball is down a little this season from last season. About a mile and a half.
Comes back and gets a strike call.
Just nipped the edge. He swung at that. Didn't matter if it was a strike or not.
Got a little movement on it, a little character, as you'd say.
Had a lot of character. Triple-digit style.
That's the kind of unhittable stuff when Vasquez is at his best. Base hit for Marte.
That's all right. Throwing the strike, you made him hit his way on. That 3-run lead, that's what you want to do. Nobody walks.
And with the lefty batting Dyson up and lefties basically having no chance against him. I'll go with the right-handed batting Chris Owings. Hitting at 193. Vasquez has been the best in baseball at limiting left-handed power. They slugged just 100 against him over the last 2 seasons. That's a single every 10 times up.
And he doesn't face very many lefties either. So to get 10 up might be a single at once a month.
That's what it was last year. Could allow 1 double.
Yeah. Cervelli out to make sure that it gets back in the strike zone real quick. Don't do him any favors. Tying run is still off the plate on deck circle.
Well, what made Vasquez an elite closer last year, I think, in part, is the walks per 9 was down to 2.4, and it's always had previously been an issue with him. It's a little over 4 this year, 4 walks per 9 innings. A lot of hitters' counts. Just challenge these guys.
And until tying run comes up, I mean, you got some leeway to not be not have to be real fine with everything.
Now Santana went through their 3 best hitters in order in the 8th, moving through the bottom or toward the bottom of the lineup now.
Hitting just 193.
He's gone 3 balls on both hitters. Diamondbacks have not really had much to speak of. They have not had a man in scoring position since the 2nd inning. They want to wake him up. Nick Ahmed has got a little power against lefties this year, so.
Not close. Now the tying run is at the plate, and you have to be a little more careful now.
And Ray Searage will come out for a mound visit. Well, Vasquez last year, you could say he was automatic, and this year has been good, but he has been prone to a few of those outings where that big inning can develop.
Well, I think
he's only allowed an earned run, Bob, in 4 outings this year, but 3 of them have been big ones.
There hasn't been a big difference, that's for sure. Just a slight drop in velocity we've seen, and then the walks are up from what he did last year. You mix those 2 together, and yeah, he's still real good. He still gets the save a vast majority of the time, but he hasn't been the nightmare for the opposition that he was last season.
Yeah, you think about that and you see that overall ERA over 4, but 23 of the 27 outings have been scoreless. Had that hiccup where he failed to convert 3 consecutive save opportunities back in late May. Ahmed, a .290 hitter against lefties. Already with a career high 9 home runs, and a good bit of that has come against left-handed pitching. That's what you want. Well, in taking the ball to third, they only get the 1 out, and that's maybe what they would have gotten anyway. I'm not sure. What do you think, Bob?
Well, me personally, I think that 99% of the time you got to go around the horn with this. But I mean, I'm not the one catching the ball out there. And Moran must have thought he had a double play by going to the bag. I didn't see that. I thought he should just go second to first, like you do. Maybe not 99% of the time, at least 90% of the time, they would have had a shot at it.
Now, if that's the tying run heading to third, right, that might be.
Yeah, but that's not the case.
Right. It's a 3-run game here.
Yeah, the score, I think, really dictated that. Okay, ignore that guy going to third. I mean, you could have let the guy going to third. You could have let him go all the way home. Who cares? What's the difference?
Here's a good view. You can judge for yourself.
I'm still watching that. I'm still pretty much convinced you got to do it the normal way.
Now you got a guy in Mathis, 190 something lifetime hitter, and doesn't run well. He get a second shot on a ground ball here, and you're shaking hands. Tying run at the plate for Arizona here in the ninth. And now with 2 outs after that strikeout.
Slider.
So they let Mathis bat. And they have Murphy coming up, and he's a catcher too. A pinch hit. Descalso still on the bench today.
Now this is the matchup that they're hoping to get here at the bottom of the lineup. Murphy has got a little power in his bat, and that's what they're hoping for, that they can get a big hit when their last chance.
And the runners are going to move up.
Doesn't make a bit of difference.
Yeah, with 2 outs now.
I mean, even if they were running on the pitch, it just would be indifference. You just let them go wherever they want. It's that guy at the plate, Murphy. He's the only guy that makes any difference right now. He is the tying run.
And behind 2-0. An elusive 27th out. Now 3-1 on Murphy. John Jay is on deck. He has pummeled the Pirates through the years. And then if it gets past him, Goldschmidt.
That's where you don't want it to go, is Goldschmidt. Even if Murphy is to get on, you still have Jay, who's going to be hitting left-handed, and you already cataloged the numbers of Vasquez against lefties. So. But it's Goldschmidt's the guy that worries me a little bit.
Well, Jay yesterday, not against Vasquez, but a 3-run opposite field home run.
Only home run he's ever hit off the Pirates.
That put the game out of reach. This game fell out of reach for Arizona until about now. With the tying run aboard and now the go-ahead run at the plate in Jay. Single, 2 walks in the inning. Devin Marrero runs at first for Murphy. Bases full of Diamondbacks with 2 outs. And I'll say it again, the lefties over the last 2 seasons, they slug just 100 against Vasquez. That's the best mark in baseball. 8 singles and 1 double in 108 plate appearances. Here's 109. 2 for 4 lifetime. .100 upstairs.
Pitch away. One more of these right here.
Another century mark. Hard to catch up to.
Almost by him. Practically took it out of Cervelli's glove.
Base is loaded, 2 outs.
Oh, man, look out. 98 up by the chin. Can't be a comfortable at bat, can it? If you're a left-hand hitter.
A strike away from victory. And Jay beating the Pirates again. 2 runs are in. And the Diamondbacks have the tying run at third with 2 outs.
And the winning run, more importantly, at second. I would have liked to have seen Meadows throw that ball to second base. They weren't going to try and score the tying run. But I think Jay had stopped or slowed way down going around first. He did not want to run out into an out at second. But then when he saw the throw going in toward third, that's when he decided to go ahead and go to second base. And of course, then the ball got away and didn't make any difference. Yeah, he stopped and went on the throw when it went to third base.
Goldschmidt intentionally walked. No room for error now in a 1-run game here in the 9th.
That definitely the way to go.
Strike 1 to Jake Lamb. I told you those numbers
now,
about Vasquez.
If Jay does stay at first base, do they walk Goldschmidt then?
That's a great point. I don't know. I don't think so. You can't.
Because then you're moving the winning run into scoring position.
I think you have to pitch to Goldschmidt.
This could really have turned out for the best, having Jay go to second base. We'll see.
Strike 2 on Lamb, who hits 149 against lefties the past 2 seasons.
Yeah, I mean,
so the numbers are
tremendous matchup numbers here in the Pirate favor.
The game isn't played on paper, but so far 2 strikes. Bend but don't break. 101 down the middle.
He's got the good fastball going today.
3 walks in the inning, 2 unintentional. Everybody on their feet. The Pirates trying to eke out 1 win here in the desert. A late uprising by the Diamondbacks. Now 1-2.
No wild pitches.
Nowhere to put him. A walk brings in the tying run. David Peralta waiting on deck. A strike away from a Pirate win.
Oh, how'd he hit that? Well, Vasquez, he's giving it everything he's got.
He's thrown 35 pitches.
A lot of
9th
hundreds.
inning.
A lot of 101s. I mean, he's coming at him. This is some exciting stuff right here at the end of the game. I mean, it's kind of nerve-wracking from the Pirates' point of view, but
got Glass now up and back of Vasquez now. Really labored through this 9th inning. Even with that increased velocity, he has had a hard time putting away these Diamondbacks hitters.
I think that might be a little bit about the control issues that you spoke of.
A lot of hitters counts.
And so they're able to attack that fastball a little bit better.
He struck him out.
Whew.
And by the skin of their teeth, the Pirates escape with one here in Arizona.
He ended it with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball a little upstairs.
Doesn't matter how you do it, as long as you do it.
What a series. But this hopefully will help on this long upcoming homestand. Get this great start from Tyone. Some good offense. Knocked out Greinke early. And had an exciting ninth. So,
to say the least.
Yep.
Pirates win it 5-4 over the Diamondbacks. And they will win 1 out of 3 here in Arizona. Let's go now to Rob and Michael